got major new details into the Hillary Clinton private server investigation. Fox News confirming that there's a 99% chance 5 foreign intelligence agencies indeed hacked into Clinton's server. Here with what all this means, he's senior fellow at the Center for Digital Government and Cybersecurity. He's Morgan Wright. How bad a threat is this to our national security, Morgan?
You know, Liz, this is something I said over a year ago when John Kerry came out and said he fully expects the Russians and the Chinese reading his emails. It meant 4.5, maybe 5 years ago, these nations had access. And when you look at the type of information that was sent across that we know about, and we know that many of these emails are classified at the top secret and even higher special access program level. I mean, this is from an intelligence standpoint, and somebody used to hold a security clearance. I mean, quite frankly, it's devastating.
You know, Morgan, we do know, according to FBI sources, that overseas they actually put government workers in their foreign telecom units to do just these things. And
Absolutely.
We know that in 2009 that Hillary did have a low layer. I mean, she didn't even have a Gmail level security on her device, and she was going to China and Asia and other places. What's striking is these hacking revelations. It came out of the FBI's digging out its own discovery of 15,000 emails on Hillary's server. It looks like an Uma Abedin fake account was being attempted to hack in. I think there were 10 attempts within 2 days in November 2010. What do you think?
Yeah, look, I mean, it was definitely, what it tells you for one thing, look, I've had websites other people have had. You get a few of these, but the fact that it was very concentrated going after it meant somebody thought that there was an opportunity to exploit this. And the other thing, those are the attacks they know about. I mean, quite frankly, those were pedestrian. That was the Hail Mary, hey, let me try a username and a password, see if I can get in. The ones that you should be worried about are the ones that took them this next tranche of emails for them to find out about that they didn't discover in the first investigation. That meant a very sophisticated adversary, which meant they were in there for a very long time.
You know, here's the thing, too. We know John Podesta, when he was basically advising President Obama in 2014, Hillary Clinton had emailed asking about information about Libya, and John Podesta wrote back, not on this channel. So it was clear to them that these email addresses were not secure. What do you make of that?
Look, when he said, a lot of people read into it and said, well, no, call me on the phone and stuff. When I read not on this channel, what I also read is it's not so much the information. You can figure out sometimes from the information where it may have come from, but the disclosure of sources and methods, that's even more sacrosanct. The fact that we have people or programs that are collecting this information, that's our eye in the sky, or that's our hidden eye to see what's going on. If these things are disclosed, I mean, that eliminates then information and intelligence for entire, you know, the intelligence community. So not only does it get people killed and it gets people hurt, it also ruins our ability then to prevent future attacks or collect information against our adversaries as opposed to them collecting against us.
We have jihadis in Libya. We've got ISIS even earlier at Al-Qaeda. This has been going on for some time. Morgan Wright, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, sir.
Into Hillary Clinton's secret server takes a sinister turn now as we learn it was reportedly hacked by at least 5 foreign intel agencies, giving them access to the United States and all of our secrets and then putting American lives at risk.
Here for reaction is the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, Republican Congressman down in Texas, Michael McCaul. Good morning to you, Chairman.
Morning, Steve.
Okay, so Bret Baier's got a couple of sources inside the FBI that says with 99% accuracy, Hillary Clinton and the Clinton server was hacked by at least 5 foreign agencies and the information was taken from it. Doesn't that, if she's elected President of the United States, doesn't that really open up President Clinton to blackmail by these 5 countries?
Absolutely it does. I mean, the concern I've had all along is she has had 7 special access programs on these devices. Those are the most classified, sensitive secrets in the federal government, many of them covert operations. She took those devices overseas against the State Department's wishes, and now we find out, as James Comey told me previously, that it's very likely that foreign adversary nations got into her private server. This is why you have security protocols, to protect classified information. She exposed it to our enemies, and now, Steve, our adversaries have this very sensitive information that not only jeopardizes her and national security at home, but the men and women serving overseas. This is, in my opinion, quite frankly, it's treason.
Chairman, on top of that, we understand the president was communicating to that server using an alias although he didn't tell the truth to 60 Minutes Steve Croft and others when asked when he found out about the private server. What are the implications of the president communicating with the Secretary of State on an unsecure server now that we know this hacked 5 times?
Well, now the American people know why this was such a big deal. It should be in a protected environment. It wasn't. It was created to get around the Freedom of Information Act because she didn't want to be transparent to the American people. Now it's vulnerable to a cyber attack. Looks like it was. And now countries like Russia and China and Iran have the most highly sensitive programs in the United States. And the President of the United States is communicating with her under a pseudonym. They're not stupid. They can figure that out as well. This is a huge story. It's far bigger than the accusations against Donald Trump. This goes to the heart of fitness of character to serve as commander-in-chief.
What about the president? The president's supposed to stay on the sidelines here, but then we're also learning from FBI sources that Valerie Jarrett, his chief advisor, is now asking for James Comey to be fired. And then you have the president saying, come on, he was campaigning for her, saying it was an honest mistake.
I mean, I don't think Valerie Jarrett has any credibility here. Jim Comey, I've known him for 20 years. He always does what he thinks is the right thing to do. He's made Republicans upset, but he's made a lot of Democrats upset. Yeah. One thing I know about Jim is that he will always do the right thing in his mind. I think he believed, and I think rightly so, that he had new evidence and he had an obligation to the Congress to turn that evidence over and let the Congress know and the American people before this critical decision that this case was not over. As Hillary Clinton said, I'm cleared. It's all over. Yeah. Jim Comey is the hero here, coming in saying that's not the case.
Did you feel that way in July?
This investigation's still going.
Did you feel that way in July?
You know, the only criticism I had of Jim in July was that he should have said, to say no reasonable prosecutor would take the case was not the role of the FBI. That's the role of the prosecutor at Justice, and I was one of those for many years. That was the only criticism I had. He pretty much indicts her all the way up to not indicting her.
All right, Chairman, thank you for joining us this morning.
No, thanks for having me.
Yeah.